Welcome to Truth Talks TV. This episode, we're talking about repeat offenders. Have you ever known someone or know somebody who keep doing the same thing like over and over again? The same offense, the same issue, the same thing. Well, we're going to address that. We're going to talk some truth about repeat offenders as it relates to forgiveness. So join us for another episode of Truth Talks TV. Truth Talks TV.
I know, right? It's like, oh, what are you about
We're
to
back.
say? We're back. Welcome to
Back
Truth Talks
again.
TV.
We're back again.
We're back.
This is a repeat
Repeat.
episode.
Repeat. I almost want to say the word repeat. Repeat.
Don't.
Repeat. Don't.
No.
Okay. But it ties into our topic for today, though.
Yeah, but not that type of repeat.
Okay, well, let us know what we're talking about.
Okay. So today
Mm-hmm.
we're having a discussion about repeat offenders. Forgiveness. Forgiving repeat offenders.
That's crazy. So it almost
is.
makes me think about, because you on repeat, now I got to be on repeat. So you repeated your
Okay.
offense, now I got to repeat my forgiveness. Because last week we talked about having to forgive over and over and over and over and over and over.
Yes.
So it's kind of like you on that repeat. Now I got to get on that repeat. And some people would say, and I know this was my initial take, that that ain't fair. Lord, why they keep messing up? Like, I know we under grace, but sometimes we just want grace to apply to us. We don't want grace to
And
apply
everyone
to other
else,
people.
right? Like they just think grace is just for me.
It's
all.
just
Grace,
for me.
Grace abounds just for me. That's all.
Just for me. But I mean, the reality is God's love is everlasting. And I couldn't stop thinking about what you shared. Forgiveness really ties into love. Yes, it's a form of sacrifice, but love also sacrifices. So it's kind of like, even if they were for doing the same thing, I almost want to say, all right, come on. I'm about to educate you now because you keep doing the same thing.
Right.
And you testing my long suffering.
Right.
So now I want to help you to see that what you're doing to me ain't cool. And I don't like it. I'm going to keep forgiving you, but now I'm about to relocate because it's getting on my nerves, you know. And it's okay that we move our posture or when God allows you to.
Yes.
If you're in somewhere for a
Only
season,
when the
you
Lord
can't just-
says so.
You can't just be church hopping like, oh, the pastor to this, I'm about to go. The pastor to this, I'm about to go. Nah, kind of can't do that.
Yeah.
But if it's, let's say, a person every morning, they just, you know what? Let's talk about, if you're okay with this, people who do things to your trash cans or things that are irritating, and it's like, okay, this can be frustrating. This person keeps taking my trash cans. I just took the trash out. Of course, you know, every week, the thing that I hate to do most, in case you guys didn't know, I do not like the smell of it. I don't like the touch of it. Anything. I put on gloves and I take my trash out. I hate how it smells. I would rather eat a handful of bugs than take the trash out.
I think I'll take the trash out.
I know that sounds crazy, but I do not like trash cans. I don't like the smell. I don't like anything.
I'm still stuck on the eating a handful of bugs part.
I probably won't, but one bug. But I'm just showing you, and I really don't like eating. You know how I am with stuff like that. So I'm just showing you how much I hate it. I don't want to do either, but I just wanted to make that clear.
So you rather eat a bug that's been outside around the trash?
Figuratively
like
speaking.
bugs being trash.
It's not.
Okay. I'm just trying to process your logic.
And I'll forgive you as you process. No, joking.
I mean, I didn't understand that.
No, I wouldn't literally eat a bug, y'all. Yeah, no, I'm just for emphasis. But
that was a huge, powerful, strong emphasis.
Powerful. I think I told somebody one
heavy.
time, I was like, I'd rather you shoot me in the pinky toe. And they were like, what? I'm like, but that's how much I hate trash. So I switched to bugs because I didn't want to be, violent. So anyway, don't look at me like that. Don't look at them.
I'm just processing bugs and trash, how bugs inhabit trash anyway. So technically you're eating trash still.
Okay.
But anyway, we don't want to get off topic.
Okay, but anywho.
We're talking about repeat offenders.
Yes. So the person, my neighbor, who took my trash can, and now I'm walking around the court. Where is my trash? The number is right on the front. Why do you continuously have my trash? Now, of course, there are other things that people do that are more severe, but I'm just starting light with y'all right now, talking about trash cans, because that can be kind of frustrating. So this happens every week.
Okay.
But don't you have something to say about trash too?
I don't want to talk about trash.
But it's okay. I'll leave it alone.
I mean, I'm just lost of how we got on trash
because
and
this
repeat
person
offenders.
keeps taking my trash can every week, and I'm like, pull your own trash can back to your house.
Okay.
I'm tired of looking at all the neighbors' yards to find my trash can.
So that's a repeat offender.
Yes.
So you have to forgive them for taking your
Yes.
trash.
I mean, that's lower on the scale, but there's other things that people do that are definitely more severe.
I think that the truth talkers may want to hear something beyond trash.
I mean, cool. We
Talk
I
trash.
told
We
you I
can
would
talk trash, but we don't want to talk about trash cans. Amen.
Okay, well, I just started light. I ain't want to get enough of too heavy. But
No,
thank you
people
for
want the
setting me
heavy,
straight.
heavy,
Y'all want
heavy, like the
want
Dream
heavy?
Girls. Yes. Okay. So boom, repeat offenders. When I hear that, I'm in a legal environment. I've worked in a legal environment, and it's this thing considered a repeat offender.
Mm-hmm.
And what is that? It's a individual or individuals or people who repeatedly do the same thing, the same crime, the same offense over and over again, and you appear before the judge or whomever over and over again for the same thing. And I just wonder what makes a person repeatedly do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Like what is it that's in them that is lacking, that causes them to steal or sell drugs or whatever the case is? It may not even be something like major or from the legal standpoint, but that's what that makes me think of. A repeat offender, someone that's always in court, always doing the same thing, traffic violation, the same thing over and over again. So it's like, what haven't you learned? And I feel like it's a mutual thing, because if you're the repeat offender, what is in you that you need to be healed from or delivered from? And on the flip side, if someone continues to do the same thing to me, what is it in me that makes me continue to allow that?
There you go. I like that. And as you were talking, I just kept thinking root issues. When you see cycles, and I'm not talking about cycles or situations that God has put you in for like your training ground. I'm talking about, because sometimes God will put you in a certain season where he wants to develop you and mature you. But I mean, as it relates to the person committing the crime, why do they keep doing this? Well, this person's stealing. It may be a survival crime. They got in trouble, but they're going to do it again because that's the only way they know how to get the food. So when we look at things from the surface and fail to understand the reasoning behind, and I think our legal system, not to say it this way, but they're so focused on the execution, the results, what's being done, the action, as opposed to going back to the person. We look at numbers.
To restore them.
We look at, it's supposed to be restorative justice. We look at numbers, we look at dates, we look at times, defendant 5463255. Well, wait, can you say my name, or am I just a number on the docket?
Oh yeah, you're just a number.
You're a number on the docket. So it's like when you understand the person, now granted that does take more time, but when you understand the person, understand the situation surrounding things, it makes it easier for you to say, okay, this is not an issue of, hey, he just wants to be crazy. This is an issue of
something deep
therapeutic, or not therapeutic, a mental health situation. Because to be honest, we can probably term a lot of those things as mental health things. Because why do people commit crimes? Why do people do the things that they're not supposed to do? It goes back to their mind. Whatsoever a man thinketh, so is he. And what's in the heart comes out. So it really can go all the way back to what's inside of us, what's the root issue. But will the court sit down and say, okay, let's do a psych evaluation, how are you feeling today, what do you think? I was hungry, didn't eat. Okay, I'll give you a slap in the wrist, you don't have to go to jail because I know you stole from the bank because your mother was hungry. They're not gonna do that.
No,
they're gonna say you stole.
And if they
That's
do,
wrong.
then they're gonna go repeat it again. They're gonna repeat it again.
Yeah. And so it kind of makes me just think back to, and we're sharing these things just to kind of share from a perspective of just helping us to look at things differently. Not saying that it's okay or justifiably acceptable, but it's like, let's look at it from a different perspective. Why they're doing this, why this cycle. And it makes me think about why we do that to God. He forgives me over and over. How many times you said, Lord, I won't do this no more? Habits. Habits. Sometimes it's just habits. Don't know any other way out. I got to take the initiative to find a healthy habit. But because I'm stuck in what I'm used to, sometimes we repeat things because that's either all we know or what's most comfortable. Some people would prefer to do something they know is wrong, but it's predictable. Sometimes people feel security in the thing that they know is wrong, But it's like, well, at least I know how to control it and maneuver that because I'm used to doing that. I don't want to get a job. I never had one. So I don't want to do that. I would rather steal. I know it's risky and I could go to jail, but that's what I know.
Yeah. And you mentioned something about God and how we sin all the time. And I was like, wow, in my mind, we are God's repeat offender, or we can become God's repeat offender if we don't get ourselves together. We repeatedly offend God. We repeatedly have potential to break God's heart. Like the things that we ask God to forgive us for, the things that we ask God to, that we've repented from. Like repentance is a complete turning away. Like you don't go back to that old thing. You don't go back to that old man. You completely change. You do a 360 and you're not doing that again. But yet we find ourselves repeatedly doing the same sins, the same actions. But God is so faithful and just to forgive us repeatedly.
Faithful. And he don't even pause like, hold on, let me get back to you. He forgives us.
Right. And it doesn't mean there's no consequences, because a lot of people think that, oh, gotta forgive me. Dear Lord, I just did XYZ last night. Forgive me. He'll forgive you, but there's still a consequence. And even when we think about, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I cut you off. I'm sorry.
So, when we think about like relationships, I forgive you. Repeatedly. Yes. So when we think about, relationships, we repeatedly offend one another, but it just goes back to what you're willing to deal with, and what you're willing to accept. So it makes me think, I actually do want to share a story, because I don't want to like talk details and stuff and not have an example. Yeah. So when I think of repeat offenders, and like this one particular person comes to mind, and she's cool with my mom. Well, she was cool with my mom, and she would just do these weird disappearing acts, like out of nowhere. My mom would call like, "Hey," and she'll get her voicemail, like, and she'll be like gone for like months, and then she'll like resurface, and it's like, sis, where you been? Like, bruh,
where you
been? And it would just be so weird. And it's like, okay, maybe you're going through something, but it would be like you dropped it off the face of the earth. And this would be repeatedly over and over again. And how my mom is and how she raised us, it was always, oh, come on back.
Prodigal son.
I love you. Oh, it's okay. I forgive you. Let me cook. Because my mom's known for cooking. So she'll, and you said prodigal. So, when the prodigal comes home, what we doing? We getting out the robes. We getting out the ring. We cooking. The fatty cat.
I'm on my way over.
Yes. I don't know, because you want to eat bugs.
I was just saying.
Okay. But anyway, she want to be like John the Baptist, eating locusts.
In the wilderness. And honey.
But anyway, I'll take the honey. But anyway, so, my mom, she has the heart to just, like, take people back. And as I got older, the last straw for me, and again, in all candid honesty, and if you're watching, God bless you. We love you. I hope you're doing well.
You better name drop.
No, okay. I would never do that. That's messy. But, I mean, I'm sure the person knows who they are. You know what I mean? And again, God bless you if you're watching. Praying for you. Hope all is well. So disappearing acts. And so the person came back, resurfaced when my dad passed. That's kind of, death kind of brings you together. It rekindles relationships, long-term or temporary. So she was back, and she really looked out for my mom. She was really there during that transition period, that initial 6 months, 8 months after.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's significant, because that's usually when stuff drops off. People think after the first week or two.
After the funeral.
Oh, you good. Flowers, cards, food. We coming by every
after
day.
The funeral, that's when people roll out. Like, that's when they stop bringing the rotisserie chickens and the KFC. I don't like KFC. I prefer Popeyes. Glory to God. If you want to bless me with chicken, let it be Popeyes, because the skin is of God.
Yes, it is.
I just want a box of skin.
What?
Yes. Not bugs. That's better than...
Okay.
I'm not going to ever forget that comment, okay?
It was for comparison.
I forgive you.
Oh my
But I ain't forgetting that.
I'm going to bring you some chocolate covered locusts.
Please don't. And I will never trust you. Thank you for letting me know.
But I would
Truth
tell
Talk
you
TV,
what it is.
I will never eat anything that Nicole brings me. Glory to God.
I
Okay.
said, but I would tell you. I wouldn't just act like it's
Well, why
chicken
would you
and say
tell
it's
me, hey,
locust.
this is chocolate covered locust? Like I'm gonna accept it.
Because
like,
I want you.
Thanks.
Because I want you to experience what John the Baptist had. And I'm
No,
gonna throw some
that's
chocolate on
that's
there.
in the past. That's abolished. Now we have steaks and stuff. But anyway, getting back to the topic, because you always try to throw me off.
I'm not.
You always try to get me off subject.
Okay.
So she, resurfaced, and then this is like someone who considered my mom to be her mom, like her spiritual mom. So it's like, how do you just do that to some? I never understand. So for me, I love people and I love hard. So, and if a relationship in my life is ever severed, it wouldn't be me. Because like if I feel like, oh yeah, you're for me, I'm gonna grab you and hold you tight. So you will have to walk away from me, and this is how my mom raised us. And maybe this was good, maybe it wasn't, but she taught us love. Like we were raised on a foundation of love and not hurting people, trying not to hurt people. And when you find that you found a good-hearted person, hold on to them tight. So, she resurfaced when my dad passed. She was there for my mom, looked out for her, sat with her when we went back to work. And there was a lot of other people that was on rotation too. But she was there. She was definitely there, and I will not deny that. And then out of the blue, ghost again. And I'm like, in my mind, let me not forget this part. So I want to say 2 weeks after my dad passed, she did apologize and this was another common thing. Repeat offenders apologize. They do recognize what they do. Like even in the legal system, Your Honor, I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking.
They truly are sorry.
They are. They sorry to be about to go to jail.
And sorry,
but then when you think about the need that you have, then you about to still steal. So I would not, I believe in telling the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So she did apologize, and okay, I accept. Thank you. So again, fast forwarding, disappeared again, and in my mind, I'm like, why do I have to continue to allow people or a person to continue to offend me? Like, why is that okay? And I understand seasons, I understand people being in your life for various reasons, a lesson and stuff like that. But I do believe that enough is enough. And there comes a time when God be like, yeah, it's time to untie. It's time to sever the cord and move forward, especially if this person isn't fruitful in your life or adding anything to you. There comes a time where it's like, daughter, son, release you in the name of the Lord. So to this day, it's been ghost, and they sent a message like, hey, I think our season's over, and that's fine, and it's still a repeat thing, it's the same scenario as what it's been, but we're in a better place where it's like, God bless you, and people need to grow and mature to the point where if someone's ready to leave your life, let them go. Like, because again, thinking about, is it adding fruit? Is it helping you? Are they helping you? Are they helping you advance, or is it more stress on you? And it was what it was.
Ooh, wow. That was wow. I think the part that got me was when they apologized, did it again.
Yes.
And then says, okay, yeah, then my season's over. But then you're saying the behavior's still surfacing. So if it's over, why are you still coming back and leaving and coming back and leaving? Is it over or is it not? Like what? Yeah. But then also it makes me raise the question, on the flip side, what if we change our perception of what an offense is? If I call you a repeat offender, but if I don't become offended, are you really repeatedly offending me, or should I work on not being offended? True. So it's kind of like, like if you run your car into my car, yes, that's technically an offense, but I don't have to be offended by it. I could be mad.
Well, I think mad and an offense is kind of the same.
It is.
But I think offense is what you allow. Somebody may, in some scenarios, like you can allow someone to offend you over and over and over again and not say anything and just be doormat. Or you can be like, God bless you, moving on. Like you don't have to, you have to protect your peace and your space. In my shana now. You felt that thing. Yes.
You know how I feel about peace and boundaries. Go back and
Yes.
watch the shows on boundaries. You know how I feel about that one.
Yes. Yeah.
But yes, I definitely agree with you about that. But then the other thing is sometimes God will allow certain situations or people, and I understand what you said about is it adding value or fruit,
Yes.
because we see that it's good to have fruit. You know, if something's just there, not bearing any fruit on your end or their end, it's like, well, what's the point? But
It gets cursed like the fig tree.
that's exactly what I was thinking
And it's
of.
no longer necessary.
I was definitely thinking of that, but then I was also thinking of what if certain things are in our lives to, you know, this little thing to help, you know, develop us, because certain abrasions can cause certain things to come out of us and to develop us. And if it's an assignment, and it's like, ugh. So in a sense, it is kind of yielding fruit. It's just the fruit that we don't really like. It's
Right.
like, I don't like this fruit of patience. Ooh,
Right.
this hurts.
Right.
You know, and
I
you're
think
just
it's
like,
a case by case thing.
But if it, right.
Yeah.
And so in this situation, if this person's not really, I mean, because any situation can help you, you know, depending on perspective. You know, it's a golden opportunity to show love, you know, opportunity for patience. But then it's like, Lord, did you ordain this person to be in my life?
Right.
Because I don't see the value
Right.
on my end or their end. They're back and forth. And I do think that there's a period of time where God is like, look, yeah, I did kind of bring them, but they're not
Right. And some
done.
people are disobedient.
Go.
Some people
Exactly.
disobey God. They
that's
may
where it
know
is.
that, oh, you're supposed to be in my life, but because I'm dealing with my own issues,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about to be in the will of God. You know, so some people choose, like
that's their
even with
choice.
marriages, God ordains marriage, and people choose to sever that. Now, abuse and other stuff like that, you know, that's a whole nother thing.
Right.
But you choose. You know, God gave us free will. God may ordain something, but we make the choice whether we want to follow suit with the plan of God or not.
Right. I agree. And that's the thing I love about God. He shows us the example. He sets the standard, but we make the choice.
Yes.
So if you are or happen to be an offender, or someone has offended you, I think it's important to understand both perspectives. I think it's
Yes.
important to say, okay, why am I continuously doing this thing? Or why, like you said, am I allowing someone? And then just reframing our thoughts as to what is an offense.
Yes.
Now, how can we be more empathetic to the person, and also posture ourselves in a way that we're not
A doormat.
a doormat, or
Yes.
also susceptible to
Yes.
being what's the word I'm looking for? Like, don't make it convenient for someone to disrespect you, or
Right.
to, you know, like, well, I was just going to do this. Person smack you in the face every morning, so you keep on walking up in their face. No, send them a text next time.
Exactly.
Don't walk, hey, good morning, and they do it again. Hey, good
Right.
morning.
Right.
Don't keep doing
Right.
that.
Right. And
It's
people will
not a
only do what you
license.
allow them to do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People, you teach people how to treat you.
There you go.
It's like, it's a quote that says, fool me once, shame on
I actually had that
you.
out. Yeah.
fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah,
So if you
yeah.
allow people constantly, and even taking out spirituality or Christianity, if you allow people to do the same thing to you over and over again, then you need to look at yourself and see what's in you, what's rooted in you that attracts these type of people, allows these type of people to stay in your life, and what do you give off that brings these type of people.
If you dating the same type of person, dating the same type of, you know, man, my last boyfriend did this to me, my other boyfriend did this to me, my other boyfriend did this to me, and it's like, okay, what in me is kind of making it okay for people to do that? What am I allowing? So I truly believe that we should take a closer look at the things that we allow in our space.
Yes.
Before we point the finger and say they do this, they do this, they do this,
Right.
we need to take responsibility. We need to
Yes.
take inventory. And so I think that this conversation is far from over.
Yes.
I think that there's always more to say, because
yes.
life keeps happening.
Like, people be
And
people in.
People be people in. I love it. But I just want to thank you guys for joining us and for continuing the dialogue with us on forgiveness. We will be back with another episode talking about forgiveness. Join us next week. We'll see you soon. Thank you.